Hey guys, welcome back to Cybertruck 1. We are here in just outside Rocky Mountain National Park. You can actually see those mountains out there are actually inside the park. We're in the Estes Park area. Anyway, today we are showcasing, not only do we have this fantastic Coody RBM tent, the Koala 7, but we now have, I think it's called the Caminus wood stove. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, but nevertheless, it's the medium size. The thing is kicking butt inside here, keeping us nice and warm. Come check it out and we'll show you how it works with our tent and our Cybertruck. See? Can you see down in here? Mm-hmm. All right, guys, let's check out this wood stove. The install was really easy. It only takes but maybe 10, 15 minutes tops to, we only carried the bag. We don't have that big wooden box that it comes with. I think that's really basically for shipping or maybe storing at home. But when we're traveling around in the Cybertruck camping, we just have it in the green bag, throw it over your shoulder, carry it with your hands. It's pretty easy. As you can see here, we're cooking on it right now, but this is the flue where it comes up through the tent. You just pop that little, you roll up, there's Velcro around here, you roll this up and tie it down and you're good to go. Let's check out the inside here and see how we're doing. As you can see here, we got some firewood on the inside. We have a bunch of firewood sitting here on the outside so that we'll generally use this first to get rid of it, and then so in the middle of the night you don't have to climb outside, you just use the wood that's on the inside. But it isn't too cold tonight. It's going to be about, I think, 24. Wind is just kicking up. I think it's supposed to be the coldest is 24, so this fireplace, this wood stove will have no problem. So as you can see now, my wife has 2 steaks cooking away. These are fantastic to use. We've had this on for about, I'd say, 2 hours by now. Use this little handle here to open the front door. We've got a nice little fire going with the coals. Operation is really easy. Essentially, that's your only open and closed door. That's your handle. Your damper is right here. That's completely closed. We'll do this. We'll damp it down as we go to bed at night and want the fire to last a little longer. But for now, we want a little bit, some high temperatures here to cook, and we're really trying to warm the place up here. And so we'll leave it mostly open actually right now. And here is our firewood for the night. That should be more than an ample supply. What's really nice about this wood stove, I like it, is it has the glass on 3 sides. So you can have a little romantic evening or sit here on our inflatable couch in the living room here, have a couple drinks and some dinner and enjoy the fire. It does come with these metal shields. Okay, these shields will go right here like this on the sides, one on each side. If for some reason you were concerned, you had something very close that you thought the radiant heat could melt something or catch on fire, it can be installed on either side. As a matter of fact, if you look at the rear right here, this is the rear version of that shield. But for us, we'll leave the glass open on all 3 sides. There's nothing close enough to cause any problems, and we'll just enjoy the fire from the bed or the couch and have a fantastic dinner. It is getting a little smoky in here from the steaks on top of the grill here, but Beyond that, we also opened up the interior windows here between rooms so that the heat can flow through easier. There's one on either side. The one on the top right here is always open, so the heat can always get through. And in all likelihood, we'll leave this main opening here rolled up so that as much heat can get into the back room. But I can tell you, it's toasty warm. Hey guys, welcome to the aftermath of last night's camping adventure. This stove or wood stove performed perfectly. We are delighted by its effectiveness. I will say, as for a couple tips, we are noticing the refill rate of the wood is probably around 2, maybe 3 hours. We didn't damp it down as far as we probably should have. And one suggestion is, this wood was perfectly fine, but if you have smaller pieces of wood, it might be a little easier to load. And by that I mean, sometimes you get a big piece of wood in there and you want to put one more in there to really get it loaded up so that you can sleep several more hours, and all of a sudden it doesn't fit so well. But then by that time the one end of it is already burning, and now you're left in this predicament where the wood's on fire and you can't pull it out because it's burning and the door won't close. So if you had smaller pieces, it would be a little bit easier to manage. Again, as far as your time for sleeping, it probably is 3 hours or so. I would say we had a bed issue last night, which was, this bed is a inflatable one, and this is a no-go for this type of camping. We don't have that much experience doing this. The floor is reasonably warm to the touch, but if you're putting pressure on it and staying on it for a period of time, you can feel the cold air. And so what happens is, the surface area is, this tent is so large that it's on top of snow and cold ground, that the air inside of it gets cold and you're literally sleeping. I compare it to almost like going to a stadium and sitting on a metal on the metal bleachers, where you're nice and warm, except the cold metal is just radiating through your pants and keeping you cold and uncomfortable. If we had a pad for this, just like at the stadium, if you had a pad or a pillow or something to separate, we tried putting another blanket underneath of us, but it was not cutting it. You have such a big area of air that's 50 degrees or so, and it's just we were totally warm on one side from the fire, and then laying on something cold on your back, and it was just a little uncomfortable. So in retrospect, we should have altered that. So anyway, my point to mentioning is we could have easily handled cooler temperatures in here, and maybe you could go 4 hours with the wood stove, but under the circumstances we found ourselves in, it was unpleasant. So did not have the greatest night of sleep, but it really had nothing to do with the tent. The tent was fantastic. The stove was fantastic. Preparation for sleeping arrangements with that bed was horrible, and that's completely our fault. Anyway, you might want to try this out one time. We had a really good time. You could certainly do this for periods of, day after day. We didn't run out of firewood. We still have some left here on the outside. Obviously, if you were going to stay for long periods, you'd have to bring more wood, or at least consider going out and about around you and finding some wood to resupply. Anyway, as I've said before, please visit the description for further information about this tent, about the wood stove, and the link that I have referencing a really nice discount. Thanks for watching Cybertruck 1, and we'll see you at the next one.